This video discusses real-life violent crime and legal proceedings. It is intended for educational and documentary purposes only and does not condone, excuse, or glorify violence. For days after the killing, Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero were already out of town. They boarded a train headed for Utah, and at one point, Guerrero recorded himself on his phone saying it was day 3 after murdering somebody, while Sierra laughed nearby. Transit officers later recovered that phone when they detained the pair in Salt Lake City. Sierra was 16, Guerrero was 18. The victim, 45-year-old Daniel Halseth, lived in northwest Las Vegas and had tried to end the relationship he believed was putting his daughter at risk. Family members confronted the teenagers and took steps to keep them apart. Sierra and Guerrero had planned to run away to Los Angeles together, and authorities and relatives worked to stop that plan. Guerrero, meanwhile, had left his own household and had not been living with his family in the months leading up to the crime. Those interventions did not prevent the violence. In fact, they may have contributed to the urgency around it. In the days before April 9, 2021, the couple bought a list of suspicious items: bleach, lighter fluid, rubber gloves, a drop cloth, a circular saw, and replacement blades. Purchases traced to Daniel Halseth's credit card tied them directly to the victim. On April 9, 2021, Daniel Halseth was killed inside his home. The medical examiner's report listed multiple stab wounds, and investigators found evidence that the offenders tried to destroy or conceal material afterward. A few days later, when Daniel's landlord and a relative went to check on him because they had not heard from him, they discovered the scene and the investigation began. Surveillance footage captured the couple buying supplies in the preceding days, and financial records helped investigators reconstruct the pair's movements. Using the victim's own credit card to buy materials later linked to the crime became one of the most compelling pieces of evidence. For days after the killing, transit police located Sierra and Guerrero in Salt Lake City and arrested them. Sierra's phone was seized at that time. The video Guerrero had recorded, casually referring to their actions as day 3 after murdering somebody, with Sierra laughing beside him, later became pivotal evidence and drew widespread attention during sentencing. The case proceeded in Clark County District Court under Judge Tiara Jones. On May 25, 2022, both defendants entered guilty pleas on 9 counts, including murder with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit murder, first-degree arson, robbery with a deadly weapon, and multiple counts of fraudulent use of a credit or debit card. On October 20, 2022, Judge Jones imposed sentences of 22 years to life for each defendant. In court that day, Sierra's mother, former Nevada State Senator Elizabeth Halseth, delivered a powerful victim impact statement addressed directly to the pair, and those present described it as one of the most memorable statements given in that courtroom that year. Both Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero remain incarcerated in Nevada. Both Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero remain incarcerated in Nevada. Daniel Halseth was 45. He had done what many parents would do: intervene when he believed his daughter was in a dangerous relationship. He confronted her and tried to stop the relationship, and that effort ultimately cost him his life. Days later, his daughter's boyfriend sat on a train and filmed himself speaking about the murder with a detached, unsettling calm. Tyler Witt's case follows a similar tragedy rooted in a concerned parent's attempt to protect a child. Tyler was 14 when she dissolved sleeping medication into her mother's drink and waited as it took effect. She had been dating 19-year-old Stephen Culver for roughly 3 months. When Tyler's mother filed an official statutory violation complaint and handed over her daughter's diary to authorities, it created a documented record that would later matter to investigators and prosecutors. Joanne Witt, 47, lived with Tyler in a gated El Dorado Hills community east of Sacramento. She had allowed Culver to rent a room, believing the arrangement was harmless, until she learned the relationship was romantic and took legal action. That same complaint, intended as protection, may have convinced Culver that Joanne needed to be silenced. On the night of June 11, 2009, after Tyler gave Joanne a drugged drink, Culver entered the home armed with a kitchen knife and attacked. The medical examiner recorded numerous injuries consistent with Joanne defending herself. Investigators later matched DNA under Joanne's fingernails to Culver. When Joanne failed to appear at work the next day, deputies checked the home and launched an investigation. A friend, Matthew Whitman, later told authorities Tyler had confessed details of the killing the night it occurred. A statewide manhunt followed. For days after the murder, police found Tyler and Culver together at a shopping center in San Bruno in the Bay Area. Evidence suggested the pair had attempted a joint suicide after the killing, but the attempt was unsuccessful. In El Dorado County Court, prosecutors offered Tyler a plea deal in return for cooperation and testimony. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in 2010. In the summer of 2011, Culver stood trial. His defense argued the relationship had so affected his judgment that he acted under extreme emotional disturbance. The jury convicted him of first-degree murder with special circumstances, including lying in wait and killing a witness, which made him eligible for life without parole. On August 12, 2011, Culver received a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Tyler Witt was sentenced to 15 years to life. She served roughly 13 years and was released on parole on August 26, 2022. She is the only perpetrator who has since left custody. Joanne Witt did what many parents would do. She recognized danger, followed official channels, and took concrete steps to protect her child. Tragically, that action, filing a complaint and surrendering evidence, became part of the chain of events that ended her life. That is the full story of this case, a tragedy shaped by fear, control, and choices that ended in irreversible loss. Beyond the headlines and courtroom details, it is a reminder of how quickly manipulation, secrecy, and violence can destroy lives and leave lasting pain for everyone involved. Thank you for watching and for taking the time to learn about this case with me. If you found this video informative, please support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you do not miss future uploads from Zitty Shadow.